hiciste en este sitio?
¿Por qué estás tan interesado en mí?
Admiro su fortaleza.
Intento enseñarles cómo sobrevivir en estos tiempos.
¿Qué es lo que más desearías en el mundo?
Que me llevaran lejos de aquí.
Ven conmigo.
So why did you think it was important to do this movie again with a different perspective?
When I saw the original film, I thought it would be interesting, this story, to see it from the other side of the female character's point of view, and I was just interested in that and making the story from that view.
So you took away the slaves, some flashback, but also Miss Martha backstory. Why did you make this decision?
Yeah, when I went back, I went to the original book to write my script, and decided to focus on, you know, whenever you adapt a book, you choose the characters you're going to focus on and keep the story really focused about the power between the men and women characters. And I didn't think you needed an incest story to be able to talk about their sexuality. And there was a stereotypical slave character, which I didn't feel like was a portrayal of that experience I wanted to show. So I decided that that's better left for another film and not to just treat that in a slight way. And I really didn't want it to be about the politics. It's not about the Civil War. It's really about a group of women cut off in wartime, but not of that period.
Tell us about the point of view, because it's almost always feminine. You don't get to see in the movie the corporal by himself. He's always or being looked by other women or interacting with them.
Yeah, it was really, when I set out to make the film, I was really clear the point of view is from the female characters, and we enter this world of women in a Southern girls' school, and there's characters from ages 20 to 40s, all women living together, and then they encounter this man, and it's really a scene of them looking at him.
It's the first time you introduce a lot of such violent scenes, and also some of them are explicit. How was shooting them?
Yeah, it was the first time I ever had kind of a little bit of blood and gore, which it's done in a minimal, hopefully tasteful way, but that's an element in the story, kind of the brutality. So it's good to push yourself out of, do things you've never done before.
How was adapting the movie, this one, different from when you adapt the Suicide Virgins?
Yeah, this one was different in that just every time you adapt a book, you have to focus on kind of editing down the story, and this one had a lot of elements that I chose to leave out, and it was a different period, obviously, because it's farther in the past, so how to write dialogue that felt true to the period, but also was relatable for a modern audience.
You're almost a pioneer without trying it, because you were like the first female woman to be nominated by an Oscar, just the second one to win at Cannes. What do you think is wrong with the industry that female directors are an exception still today?
Yeah, I mean, that's a bigger conversation, and there still are fields where it's male-dominated, and the film business is one of them. But yeah, it's surprising it hasn't changed more since when I started many years ago, but I'm glad to be able to make my films, and hopefully there'll be more and more women represented behind the camera.
What was your inspiration to do the cinematography?
Oh, I worked with Philippe Lassorde, the cinematographer, who's great, and we looked at a lot of references of paintings and photographs and other films, and I really wanted to create this very soft, hopefully beautiful, feminine world that I think the audience can enter their world, and then when the story shifts, it hopefully takes you in a different direction.
But even if it's not anachronist like Marie Antoinette, but you are not trying to do a historical movie, do you think some of the relationship between the character can be translated to today's world?
I think there's elements in the story. I mean, it's a very different time, and the story is very extreme because of that, but I think there's elements and themes that we can relate to as a modern audience.
Did you write the script with the cast in mind already?
I thought about Kirsten Dunst and Elle Fanning and Nicole Kidman, I imagined, when I was writing the script, so I was really happy to have them. And then I met Colin Farrell and thought he would be great as the soldier.
And what did you want to get from Kristen this time as an actress? Why was she perfect?
Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to see Kirsten play a character that's so different than she is, and she's never played before, and the character's very repressed and and quiet, and Kirsten's very the opposite, very full of life and bubbly, and I just thought she could bring so much to, she can convey emotion without words.
And how did you make Colin Farrell's character different from Clint Eastwood?
You know, I tried to forget the original film, and I just went back to the book and started imagining my own version. And when I met Colin, he felt like the best actor for that. And you can't replace Clint Eastwood, but we made a different version.
Trae el manual de anatomía. ¿Necesita algo?
Consígueme la llave.
Sabe que me metería en un lío.